Hello and welcome. I'm Johan Castell and you're watching WION Wings. On the show today, we learn how to cook a legendary dish from Rajasthan.
Right, now we're talking.
We explain Burning Man and why it became a muddy mess this year. And feature how tourism increased in Russia and in Albania. Let's begin. Today's special feature is the iconic Laal Maas from Rajasthan. We recently visited Udaipur and learned how to cook this delectable dish from a top chef in the city. Please take a look at our experience.
Udaipur is also known as the City of Lakes for a good reason. The city is best known for its many interconnected lakes, palaces, and rich history. The state of Rajasthan is usually associated with the idea of deserts and dry landscapes. Still, Udaipur is very different, especially during the monsoon. Although the city used to be very seasonal regarding tourist visits, now its popularity as a destination is more evenly distributed throughout the year. Udaipur is known for its warm and welcoming hospitality. The city offers a range of accommodation options, from luxurious heritage hotels to budget-friendly guest houses. We stayed at the Radisson Blu, which is the largest hotel in Udaipur. With over 240 rooms, the property can accommodate large weddings, banquets and conferences. But I'm here for a cooking class for a particular reason. The restaurant on the rooftop of this hotel is one of the city's top-rated places, famous for its Laal Maas. The Aravali rooftop restaurant is led by executive chef Manish Sharma, who has been working here for many years, and he has offered to show me the way to a perfect Laal Maas.
Hello there. What are you preparing over here? It's quite the setup that you have here.
Yes. I set up this entire setup for preparing the Laal Maas.
I've actually always wanted to know how to cook a Laal Maas.
The basic thing is the mutton, 50% of with bone, 50% only the boneless meat. Good mutton stock, curd.
Okay.
This is ginger garlic paste, clarified butter, red chili paste, cumin powder, garlic, little bit of cumin, salt, turmeric, red chili, ginger julienne.
Yeah. This
special
is
blend of masala.
Do we start by tossing the meat in and start frying it?
No, first we will marinate the meat. So these are the meat pieces, and now we will marinate with the ginger garlic paste, little bit of salt.
2 kilos of mutton?
It's near about 1 kg.
The lal mirchi?
The red chili, the big...
That comes later?
That comes later because if you put it now, it will burn. It will not give you the good color.
Okay.
So you have to put it once the meat is sealed. We'll take a little bit of cardamom, a small piece of cinnamon.
And this one looks like a secret ingredient as well.
It's a mace.
It's mace.
One red chili and bay leaf.
Yeah.
Now we will put this. Now you can listen the crackling voice.
Yeah, wow.
Now you have to add little bit of sliced onion in it.
Right.
So whatever amount of meat, you have to cook half of the sliced onion because that makes the gravy.
Acha.
You can also try your hands.
I think that's what I was gonna ask. We're in it together now, you know.
Till the time you will not do it with your hands. You will never ever learn.
Yeah. So we're starting to see a little bit of
brownish in color. Now it is transparent and it starts giving the color. So now we have to put this entire meat.
Wow, I'll dump it all in there.
With the ginger garlic paste and salt.
Wow. Should I toss it around?
Yes. No. All around.
Moving it around? Yeah. Wow, I just love the sound that it's making, you know?
The crackling voice.
Yeah, right.
Now you can see.
Yeah.
The meat is almost sealed.
45 minutes, an hour, or like how long?
It takes at least 1.5.
At least 1.5 hours, huh?
Now we start putting the turmeric, just little bit, red chili paste.
The red chili paste, and that's quite a lot. Like
Dhania chili, roasted cumin powder, garam masala, little bit of coriander powder. Now you have to cook it and make sure it will not stick anything on the bottom. We will put little bit of stock in it.
Right, now we're talking.
You can add little bit of ginger julienne. Now also. Now see the color. Now smell. Ooh.
This was worth the trip. Let's say that we have 1 kilo of meat, then how much stock would be required? About 200 ml or?
At least a liter.
At least a liter of the stock. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Till the time it is going to cook, we can prepare a bajre ki roti, which goes a complement of this.
Is that a local variety of roti that fits very well?
It's a local millet.
Yeah. Oh, it's a special type of
millet, which is a pure gluten-free. So we will prepare a bajre ki roti, which one roti you will prepare that I am going to have, and I'll prepare a bread which you are going to have. This is a millet flour.
Okay.
So
and it's only millet.
And a little bit of salt. So now we have to make a dough. And in between you have to take care of the Laal Maas also. You have to...
Nothing escapes Manish's attention when it comes to cooking. This is looking better and better. Yeah.
I'll prepare one bread and rest another bread you will prepare. So I will divide the dough.
He's entrusted me with the Laal Maas. Imagine. He's got a lot of faith in a foreigner. Now it's starting to look like a roti more and more over there.
You have to use a lot of water so it will not stick on your hand. Now you can see the thickness of the bread. It should not very thin. It should not very thick.
Should we take turns about stirring the Laal Maas?
Yes, that I will take care now.
To ventilate the heat through the earthen.
Yes.
If this will work. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know if that can be called a roti. It can be called a thing. A thing.
So our bread is ready. I think we have to switch off the stove. I hope the mutton is coming out from the bone.
Looking pretty good over here.
For the finishing, what we have to add? We have to add a little bit of curd in it.
How many tablespoons do you put in there?
4 spoons are good enough, just to cut down the chili. So now your Laal Maas is ready. Now we have to finish with some ginger juliennes.
Chopped coriander on the top. We'll toss it up on a big serving platter then, yeah?
Yes.
Wow, look at that. It's like the meat is coming off of the bones. Perfect.
And now we will garnish with some...
Little bit of garnish on the top, yeah. I think so. A little bit of green. I love it.
Let's move.
Yeah, let's make a move to the table.
After all that hard work, we really do deserve this big feast.
We should have a little bit of ghee on top.
Ghee on top of it, not little bit.
Not a little bit, it should be an entire spoon, huh? There we go.
There is no dieting, nothing.
There's the secret of the chef. Wow. Yeah, this is a liberal amount.
The meat with bone, it should be on.
Yeah, it should be the big one, huh, with the big bone on it. There's no need for a knife and fork here. You can just pull the meat right off of the bone. Oh, the bone marrow has also come out of the bone, right?
So that's why this gravy is more richy.
Wow.
And I hope this is not too much spicy.
Oh, that's perfect. That is so good.
I hope the meat is tender. We cooked on a right perfection.
Oh yeah, you must have done this before.
Yeah, I done so many times. So I used to prepare some small here and there food with my mother. Then I got in the school of cooking in Trivandrum, and I served to Bill Gates, Madonna, and they all enjoyed this Laal Maas.
Yeah, they've all tried your Laal Maas, huh? Wow. If you could serve anybody a Laal Maas like this, is there anybody that is like on your wish list that you would wish to, serve a killer Laal Maas?
To Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Wow, well, he's in the movies. We'll send him a word.
Please.
That he needs to come over here for the Laal Maas.
So, Tom Cruise, if you're watching this, don't hesitate to come to Udaipur and visit Manish. He is sure to cook up a storm.
Burning Man has been in the news recently due to the rare rainfall in the American desert where the unique festival occurs. But many people might not be aware of what this festival is about. Let us show you the ropes.
Burning Man is a unique annual cultural event in the Black Rock Desert of Nevada, USA. It typically occurs in the last week of August and the first week of September, lasting about 9 days. Burning Man is known for its radical self-expression, art installations, communal living, and a massive temporary city called Black Rock City. The temporary Black Rock City, built from scratch each year, serves as the event's hub. It is designed as a semicircle with a large open space at its center. Participants at Burning Man are encouraged to express themselves creatively and uniquely. This can involve art installations, elaborate costumes, and various forms of artistic expression. The event is famous for its large-scale and interactive art installations. Artists worldwide come to showcase their work, creating a visually stunning environment for attendees to explore. Burning Man operates on a set of principles, including radical inclusion, gifting, decommodification, radical self-reliance, radical self-expression, communal effort, civic responsibility, leaving no trace, participation, and immediacy. Participants live in a temporary city in the desert, bringing their own food, water, and shelter. This communal living experience fosters a sense of self-reliance and interdependence. The experience is usually dusty, dry, and hot. But this year, unusual rainstorms brought trouble for the over 70,000 event participants. The desert ground known as the playa turned into a muddy, sticky mess that necessitated traffic bans except for emergency vehicles. Festival goers, known as burners, were told to shelter in place and conserve food and water by organizers, as access to the site was closed for the remainder of the event. Conditions looked dire, and there were uncertainties about how long mud would cause problems before traffic could resume. The massive event culminates with the symbolic burning of a massive wooden effigy known as the Man. This act serves as a central and spiritual moment of the gathering. In addition to burning the Man, a large temple structure is erected and then burned toward the end of the event. After the Man ceremonial burning, burners were eager to leave the mud behind. A large and slow-moving line of up to 10 lanes of vehicles wide was full of people who had to wait many hours to get onto the highway to return home. Although this year's Burning Man Festival had participants face unexpected hardships, the event is still on countless adventurous, counterculture-minded explorers' bucket lists, and is a spectacle unlike any other worldwide.
In a welcome move for local hoteliers, Russia is seeing signs of a recovery for tourism in some places. The country has seen hundreds of thousands of tourists this year, indicating an improvement compared to last year.
Traveling to Crimea used to be easy for domestic tourists in Russia. Just take a flight and reach the warm climate of the peninsula for a cozy holiday. But since the special military operation in Ukraine, as Russia calls it, it has become harder for many Russians to reach their favorite summer haunt by the Black Sea. Some travelers are forced to find alternative routes to safely reach the beach. Safety is a concern that keeps many tourists away, especially after 2 attacks on the 19-kilometer Crimean bridge that connects the peninsula to Russia. Yet the Russian invasion of Ukraine is not keeping all tourists away from the sandy shores of Crimea.
We judged that it was reasonably safe, especially when my colleagues had already come here in June. They said it was calm here, with no problems on the Crimea bridge. The prices of everything is like it was before. Besides, I have many relatives who live here, who confirmed that it's safe. So we decided not to change our plans and to come here to rest and enjoy the place.
Stores in this coastal city sell t-shirts with prints of Wagner Group fighters for those who want to support the country's aggressions, which have lasted for around 18 months. After Russia's invasion, the commercial airspace over Crimea has been closed, and sanctions have severed flights to the west and weakened Russia's ruble currency, making foreign trips to Turkey and Thailand more expensive. Many domestic travelers are opting for other destinations instead of Crimea now, as hotel occupancy in Sochi is at 100%, and there is an uptick in visitors to Novorossiysk too. Yet there are those who just brush the dangers aside and go ahead with their holiday to Crimea, unfazed by the risks.
Holidaying in Crimea is a good alternative to Turkey and Thailand. We need to support our own, and I support our people.
We have absolutely no fears about traveling to Crimea. We went without thinking twice, not afraid of anything. Because Crimea is magnificent, it's wonderful. There are so many incredible places, you won't have enough time to see them all in one holiday.
According to the president of the Hospitality Union, there are still millions of tourists coming to visit.
As for the number of tourists, we get 9.5 million people in a good year. And this year, we count on 6 to 6.5 million people. We calculated 20 to 30% less people this year. As for the summer season, we have around 40% fewer people compared to last year.
When looking at foreign arrivals to Russia, nearly 200,000 people have visited the country this year, marking an increase of over 100% compared to last year. However, the drop is still significant, with only 10 to 15% of the regular footfall compared to before the war. Tourists from India and West Asia are gradually replacing Western tourists to Russia.
The once closed-off country of Albania is now enjoying a tourism influx from Italy by value-driven, adventurous travelers who seek new destinations. Let's explore how tourism makes up much of the country's GDP now.
Scores of Italians are flocking to the country to experience its pristine sand beaches and scenic rugged landscapes. Cheaper traveling costs make it more attractive, especially for budget travelers, with Italians arriving on discounted flights or by ferry. Even the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni vacationed here recently to witness Albania's beauty.
The most extraordinary part of the country is the interior. It's the most natural part, with its captivating mountains and fields. While the sea holds its beauty, it has a resemblance to places in Greece or Italy. In my opinion, the most appealing aspect is in the country's interior.
Coming out of a period of isolation when no tourists were allowed into the country, Albania's fortunes are now changing. Italians form a big part of a burgeoning and increasingly lucrative tourist trade that made up a whopping 20% of Albania's national GDP last year. More than 5.1 million foreigners, including over 430,000 Italians, have visited Albania this year. We suggest you give this underrated spot a go. A museum built in the late 1980s to honor the Albanian dictator Enver Hoxha's memory is now being repurposed into a training center for technology and programming. The 21-meter-tall pyramid-like structure was designed by architects, including Hoxha's own daughter, and was completed in 1988. Decorated with photos and personal items of the former dictator, the building aimed to symbolize the isolationist regime that controlled Albania until 1990.
It was an architecture unlike any other. Emerging from the grasp of a totalitarian regime, it held intrinsic values beyond that. However, on the flip side, the original intent was to establish a museum or mausoleum. This drove people to clamor for the removal of the sole remaining symbol from the era of communism.
Interestingly, after Albania transitioned into a democracy, the pyramid was used by children as a slide due to a lack of playgrounds. And later it served as a club, a local television station, and even a facility used by NATO during the Kosovo War in 1999. With this revamping, Albania is set to put a seal on its turbulent past.
Now it is time for the latest travel, tourism and aviation updates for those looking for the best experiences worldwide. Please take a look at our news deck.
Venice is set to implement a €5 admission fee for day trippers to manage the influx of tourists to its historic canals. This trial fee will be enforced for 30 days next year, targeting peak tourist seasons like spring break holidays and summer weekends. All visitors aged 14 and above will be subject to this fee. The implementation dates and procedures will be finalized following the Council's approval. Originally proposed in 2019, the plan was delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, significantly reducing tourist numbers. However, with tourists returning to Venice in large numbers, often outnumbering the city's 50,000 residents, the issue of overcrowding has prompted the mayor to revisit the daily charge initiative. Ryanair CEO Michael O'Leary was recently hit with cream cakes in a protest against the impact of air travel on climate change. O'Leary was visiting the European Commission with a cardboard cutout of President Ursula von der Leyen to deliver a passenger petition calling for overflights to be protected during air traffic control strikes. During a press briefing outside the Commission, two women struck him with a cream cake in the face and back before running off. O'Leary, however, ignored the incident and continued briefing the media. The ongoing Fontana water circus in the scenic city of Amman has gripped Jordanians and tourists worldwide. The stunning event offers the chance to enjoy the traveling water circus and its many colorful performances. People are excitedly attending the show also to get the opportunity to experience new cultures. According to its organizers, the one-month-long event helps to attract local and international tourists to the country during summer. An intriguing art installation next to the majestic Prambanan temple in Indonesia has stirred up quite a visual storm. Created by the American artist Brian Donnelly, also known as Cause, a giant inflatable pink rabbit named Accomplice has been placed adjacent to the Hindu temple on the holy site's premises. This is the first time the popular artist is visiting the country, choosing the iconic UNESCO World Heritage Site for displaying his art. And with this installation, he hopes that it becomes a part of the vibrant cultural landscape of the country. Hundreds of Maasai, Moran or warriors aged between 18 and 26 recently participated in a special ceremony near Kilgoris, western Kenya, called Eunoto. It is a traditional ritual that marks the transition of young male warriors of the tribe into adulthood. The members were painted entirely red, the sacred color of the Maasai. With their hair coated in a mixture of ochre and oil, they donned their traditional plaid gold shukas. For the ceremonial chanting and dancing also formed a vibrant part of the celebration. The Eunoto ceremony is one of 3 rites of passage, all of which are inscribed on the UNESCO list of intangible heritage.
That's all we have for you in this week's show episode. We'll return next weekend. But for now, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. Goodbye.